Welcome to room 919. It's been a while since we've been here. Welcome back. Mr. Hurtado here. It's been a while since we've seen you guys. It's nice to at least be back in the classroom, and we will try to get back to some sense of normalcy of getting ourselves back into a school routine. I will be outlining and showing you an overview of how the class will be running for the next 3 weeks for health. Remember, always trying to keep us from stressing out. The whole point of a health class is to be healthy and not stress out. And so I'm going to end up showing you there'll be kind of a routine we're setting up so that you can at least predict your health work that's going to be coming to you. It'll be kind of systematic. We'll have some stuff that we're reading. We'll have predictable questions that are coming up. And then at the end of the week, there'll always be kind of a simple journal. A couple of different ways that you will be able to get information to me, which I'm going to end up showing you right now. First thing we want to make sure everybody understands is that all communication, since it can be kind of crazy if we're sending stuff different places, at least for my class, I'm trying to have all communication go to joe.hurtado@lmusd.org. So if you have any questions, anything's going on, I will be checking that probably twice a day, 10 o'clock and then 2 o'clock towards the end of the day, trying to make responses back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Another thing, and one of your assignments tonight is Flipgrid, is using that as a tool. If you have questions where you actually have to ask something and just doing it through an email is not quite efficient, then we're going to end up using that. So tonight's actual first assignment is just to try something on Flipgrid. You have to log in through your school Gmail account, so your 6-digit number at lmusd.org. And then when you get to flipgrid.org, it'll say, do you want to sign in using your Gmail account? It's already set up, it's waiting for you, and so tonight's assignment is to just actually send me something. A few of you have already done it, and I appreciate it. It'll be my first time trying to manage this on a larger scale. I know of the program Flipgrid, and I've used it for smaller things, but to use it to manage questions and office hour things and things that maybe people may have questions on, that's what we'll use also. So the best way, joe.hurtado@lmusd.org. You can try to call the school, leave stuff, but it may not be easy for us to retrieve it, voicemail and stuff like that. So just using joe.hurtado@lmusd.org. The other thing, just for consistency, is that all assignments and instructions will be going through Google Classroom. So anytime you're looking for anything for my class, just go straight to your Google Classroom. And if you're not signed in, we will get those numbers up there so you have that. I think pretty much everybody's signed in. The last time we were doing this, we've used Gmail or Google Classroom a few times, so that should not be a problem. So again, those are the two big things that are important before we talk about anything else, is that communication through my email, because that's the most consistent way for me to get stuff anywhere, and then Google Classroom for any instructions, turning in all stuff. Remember, there's a difference between sharing it with joe.hurtado@lmusd.org and turning it in through Google Classroom. So pretty much all assignments will be turned in through Google Classroom. I'll give you templates, make copies of it, fill in worksheets, but it'll all be turned in actually through an assignment that way. If you have not got an assignment in, usually within this first week, I will be either getting a hold of you through email, through a phone call home, just to make sure we're on the same page, you're not having problems, and everything's okay. So if I don't see a Flipgrid assignment turned in where you just do a simple little, hey, what you're doing for mental health, since that was our last little thing we did before we got out was mental health, or I don't see in Google Classroom, then we'll be getting a hold of you by Friday if I don't see you there. To kind of give you some ease, I just want you to realize that for the next 3 weeks, since that is what we are looking at, is I've tried to keep it something that you could do from anywhere. It doesn't take a lot of work from me. I don't have to rely on your parents or guardian or somebody having to talk about issues that they may not be comfortable with, understand, want to, as they're trying to help you and maybe other brothers and sisters, other people in the house. So one of the next chapters we were going to do naturally was food, nutrition, and then eventually we're going to do physical activity. Since this lends itself to being able to just be done through a textbook and you can find a lot of stuff and your parents may be a little more familiar with it than any other topics we're doing in terms of mental health and stress and those other things. This is what it looks like. Literally, for the next 3 weeks, we will have Chapter 8 right out of your textbook. And for the first week, we will literally just be doing Section 1. So there'll be a little reading assignment that you'll do for 2 days. Then you'll answer questions for 2 days. That pretty much makes it. And then Friday is either a wrap-up or some kind of recap question. The next week, the 30th through the 3rd, will be just Section 2, right in that same chapter, Chapter 8. Dealing with vitamins, minerals, and water. and how those are important to you. And so again, we'll have a section we read for 2 days, we'll answer some questions over 2 days, and then we'll have a kind of a recap or something on Friday. So that'll take you right through. And then the next week is 4/6 through 4/10, or April 6th through 10th. And that'll be just section 3 in the same chapter, chapter 8. So guidelines for healthy eating, the food, MyPlate, government plate, used to be the food pyramid, now it's myplate.com or .org, I believe it is. And so you'll learn a lot about food if you're not familiar with that. And so that will be it. And then we'll go into spring break, and then hopefully at that time we'll be figuring out what's going on. So literally, if you want to read all those sections and do the questions beforehand and write them down somewhere or have them in a Google Doc so they're ready to turn in, I'm going to show you what that looks like. But you can read ahead, get this out of the way, and again, have one less stress in your life. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over to what a typical week will look like and show you that it's really going to follow a routine that hopefully at least relieves stress for my class. Literally, to keep the stress out of your life, we don't want this to be stressful stuff from my class. We know you have other classes you're focusing on. You're trying to balance a lot of things. So literally, this is the way every single week is going to follow, and it's very predictable. You can try to work ahead. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Get things out of the way, whatever you want to do to balance this. But literally, this week, right, March 23rd through 27th, each day we'll have something we're doing. Again, hopefully not overwhelming. Intro video like we're doing right now. Next week we'll have a video on Monday, and the week after that a video on Monday to kind of preview what's going to happen for the week. Read a section from the book. This week it's going to be section 1 from chapter 8. The next day, Tuesday, finish up reading, right? And if you get all the reading done in one shot, you can get it all done. You don't have to read the next day. Wednesday, start section questions. So I'll have a Google Doc that has section questions for you, and you'll just fill them in literally as you go. And then when you're finally done with that, you just turn it right back into me through Google Classroom. Remember, not sharing it with me at my email, but actually turning it in through Google Classroom. So it's all collected into one folder from all my students. Since I'm going to be juggling myself a lot of different things I'm doing in addition to homework with my kids. And I've got one home now from college because they got closed down. So then after Wednesday, when you start the questions, Thursday, finish up those questions and make sure to turn them in. Again, you don't have to wait. You can get that turned in if you get it done on Wednesday, get it all done. And then typically on Friday, some kind of journal, quick little reflection, some kind of recap, something just kind of looks at what we've done or asks some kind of question and gets us thinking. And again, it'll be simple, turn it in, and that's it. Sometimes, again, it can be done through Google or Google Classroom through your Google Docs, the journal, or you can use Flipgrid if you just want to read it off and you don't want to actually be writing the stuff down, if that's your mode of turning it in. So again, we'll be making the use many times of Flipgrid for both asking questions if you have them for me, but also using it as a way to sometimes do work if people want a different option than writing it out or typing it out that way. Then what will happen literally the very next week, right? If we take the very next week, on the 30th, you're going to have the exact same outline. The only difference is instead of section 1, it's going to be section 2. So next Monday, you'll have some kind of intro video. It'll just checking in with you. Read section 2, finish reading it, answer section questions, which will be a Google Doc right on Google Classroom. Make sure to turn it in at that time, and then maybe some kind of journal recap, kind of checking in on how you're doing. Literally, the very next week after that, you flip down on over the 6th of April through the 10th. That's that last week before we would be going to our spring break. All those are extended spring break here. Intro video, again, instead of section 2, it's just going to be section 3 out of the textbook. So you can see that if you want to kind of just read ahead, get this stuff done, answer the questions, and just have them waiting to turn in, they'll already be done. So intro video, just checking in with you for the week. Read section 3, finish reading section 3, start the questions, which again will be a Google Doc on Google Classroom, turn them on in through Google Classroom, and then some kind of recap, and then hopefully after that we'll go off to spring break and we'll get to see what it looks like for coming back to school. I'd really love to get in here and have students and just be in the student life, so I'm hoping we're back right after that. Take care, and remember to do the homework assignment tonight, which is to just get onto flipgrid.com. It should be already on your Google Classroom as an assignment, so you can just link right to it, go to it. Make sure you're signed in through your school Gmail account, so your 6-digit number at lmusd.org. It will not work if you have your own personal Gmail account. It's got to be through your school one, and again, that keeps everything at least flowing for me if you're always using your school account for all of this school business. Thank you and take care. And Mr. Totto looks forward to seeing you guys really soon, hopefully. And just to kind of show you exactly what it's going to look like each time we do a section. This is chapter 8. And so what's going to happen is there will literally be just a few pages of reading. This is right from your textbook, which everyone should have at home. If you don't have this, I am going to have a PDF copy that will be part of Google Classroom, and you can just read it off the screen. And so this section is literally just going through a few questions, charts, and then there's this section, review questions. That is exactly what I will just turn into a Google Doc, which you'll fill in, turn in through Google Classroom. And so if we move to the next section, it'll be literally, there's section 2 for chapter 8, vitamins, minerals, water. You'll read through, there's a few charts, there's a few things inside the textbook. Again, textbook, you don't have to rely on technology. If you're sharing the computer with brothers, sisters, other people in the house, I know sometimes that's a thing. So again, this is going to be a way to be able to just get this done without having to worry about that. And then again, at the very end there is the section 2 questions. Then again, there'll be a Google Doc that's on Google Classroom. There's section 3 that you'll just do those questions on, and you'll just turn it in through Google Classroom. There's the myplate.gov is what it is, so not .org. I think I said earlier it's .gov. There is just information to learn how to use it, how to read it. And then at the end of section 3, there will be section 3 questions right there. And those I will turn into a Google Doc, which you'll fill in, and then turn them right into me. Hope that helps.